Okay.
All of them are gone except for one.
Okay. Yes.
Why does he have that thing so far away? It should be like way over here.
Do not know.
You ready?
Yes. And here we are live.
It's going great without Mike. So far.
Another podcast. Here I am. Welcome to another Pain Cave podcast. I'm your reserve host, Preston. I'm sitting here with Mr. Justin Holland.
What's going on?
And you probably noticed someone's missing, Mr. Michael Thomas. We miss you, Mike. Wish you could be here, but duty calls. So we miss you, Mike. Can we start over? I wish we could start over.
Well, technically, I could just stop this, but no, we're live on the YouTube.
Yeah, let's start it. We're gonna start it over. For those of you on YouTube, this will be an Easter egg. Let's start it over, and then I'm gonna do the intro. I forgot the intro, so I gotta get the intro, and I'm gonna butcher it, but I'll do my best. Okay. Pain Cave, Justin, Mike, and Preston talking fitness. Pain Cave. Welcome to the Pain Cave podcast. I'm your host, Preston Secting, sitting in for Michael Thomas, who's missing with us today, and I'm sitting here also with Mr. Justin Holland.
What's going on?
Justin, how you doing?
I'm not feeling too well, actually. I did the workout that we're about to talk about, actually, and feeling kind of sick currently. So.
Indeed we are. The workout, CrossFit has dazzled us with another real nice one. We're going to talk about open workout 23.2 A and B. For those of you military types, that's Alpha and Bravo. And yeah, Justin has completed the workout. He did it a couple hours ago, hour and a half ago. And we'll talk you through it. We'll talk through some tips and strategies and theoretical ideas that you might want to implement to maximize your workout, whether you're doing this scaled or you're doing it RX. This will be it's going to hurt. It's going to be a painful workout. So we'll start with the workout. The workout is to complete as many reps as possible in 15 minutes of 5 burpee pull-ups, 10 shuttle runs. Then you're going to ascend. You're going to add 5 burpee pull-ups each round after that. So you do 5 burpee pull-ups, 10 shuttle runs, then 10 burpee pull-ups, 10 shuttle runs, 15 burpee pull-ups, so on and so forth, as far as you can up that ladder in 15 minutes. Then immediately following the end of that, so at that 15-minute mark, you're going to have 5 minutes to establish a 1-rep max thruster, taking your barbell from the ground. Justin, you want to talk us through it? How'd the workout go?
Yeah, so the workout, it's one of those ones where anytime you have the ascending reps of one of them, it's like, it seems like it's going pretty well when you get through the first couple of rounds, and then like you hit the round of 20 burpee pull-ups, and it gets real dicey. So it's one that I think the pacing needs to be probably relatively slow for most people. And then I would probably recommend practicing like your footwork on not only the shuttle runs, which seems obvious, but also on the burpee pull-ups, just so you can limit the steps on those, which I don't think I did a good job practicing those enough beforehand. Because just if your feet are kind of fumbling around there, you can lose precious seconds, which that's already a slow rep anyway, so you don't want to have extra time that you didn't necessarily need. And on those shuttle runs, same thing, practice those a lot. If you haven't been doing those since quarterfinals last year, definitely need to work on your footwork there. I like to try to stay facing the same direction the whole time, so that I'm leading with a different leg each time, so I don't have like one side of my back blowing up. So I would definitely practice that. And then Preston probably has better stuff for that. He's much better at shuttle runs. But as far as the workout, it's like you go through the 5 burpee pull-ups. It makes you feel really good about yourself because they're not very difficult. You do your 10 shuttle runs, which is kind of a lot. One thing to point out, 10 shuttle runs is 50 feet in 25-foot increments. So it's down and back is one. So I know there was a kind of a little debacle last year in the quarterfinals with that, and some people kind of ended up doing half the reps. So just make sure that you're counting down and back as one rep, so you have 10 of those there. So you kind of, for me personally, I thought it was beneficial to run at a more steady pace on those, and then kind of try to keep my burpees as fast as I could. I'm not great at shuttle runs, and I don't like burpees. So this is just not a good workout for me.
That's rare for athletes that are over 200 pounds to not enjoy this workout.
Yeah, I'm a little heavy for CrossFit. 220 is probably not ideal. But just get through it, and then play with the barbell, which usually is good for me. I don't like thrusters, but I would say I did 6 attempts. I wouldn't say that that's ideal. I would say probably more in that 4 range. And if you have a 5th one to kind of go for broke, then maybe that's probably better. I started off a little too light. I think I was a little nervous that I was going to feel like my legs blown up from the workout, which I felt strong. Actually, my breathing was out of control, but my legs felt strong. I don't know that everyone will feel like that. My wife actually went at the same time as me, and she said that her legs were feeling pretty fatigued from having to jump on the burpees. So
it's Lindsay Holland, for those of you listening. She's also one of the owners of Pin Cup Coffee, one of our title sponsors. So shout out to Pin Cup Coffee. When you're having a tough time, life's coming at you fast, have a cup of Pin Cup. Slow things down. Take it easy. What's your favorite Pin Cup brew?
Evermind.
That's mine.
Wow,
great minds think alike.
It's one of the newest ones.
It's a limited time. It's not going to last forever. Evermind. You have a backup, second place?
Buckleberry, probably.
Buckleberry.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Easy Day or Fellowship or
I haven't drank those enough.
Good ones. Thanks, Pin Cup. All right, so I'll give my thoughts. We'll start with like scaled athletes. So for those who are going to scale this workout, the scale on this one is going to be a standard burpee, jump and touch to a target. So the standard on the burpee pull-up is you must stand under your bar, and when your arms are fully extended, your thumbs are touching. You cannot touch the bar. So as long as your hands or your fingers aren't touching the bar, then that is the pull-up bar you can use for your jumping pull-ups. So for those of you who don't have jumping pull-ups, you're going to do the same standard, but instead of doing burpee pull-ups, you're going to do burpees to a jump and touch on the bar that's above your head. And basically the same strategy is going to apply to those of you who are doing burpees and shuttle runs, and those of you doing burpee pull-ups and shuttle runs. So either or, the same strategy is going to work, and that is those burpees are very hard to continue to do at the same pace. Justin is very metabolically developed, and so he's very good. And I'll say I watched him do this workout, and he did a great job at keeping his burpees very consistent up until the very end, which once you get those, the final round of 25 and 30 burpees, like that's when you're completely blown up. But he did a great job of pacing those burpees. Burpees were very steady, and then his shuttle runs were exactly the same the whole time. So I would say if you can employ that similar strategy of just keeping both movements consistent, like Justin said, it's going to start out easy and get harder. So don't take off too quick on those burpee pull-ups, especially if you're in that category of people who struggle with pull-ups at all. One benefit to the standard on this is you can vary your hand position. So you can do like a switch grip. You can go underhand as long as you jump, grab, and pull. You can even do like burpee chin-ups. For those of you who are like, oh, I want to do this one, but I'm not going to be flying through those burpee pull-ups. And we just want to maximize as many reps as we can get of those pull-ups, because a lot of people are not going to be able to do pull-ups. So anybody that can get 1 or 2 or get their first jumping pull-up, that's awesome. And so, yeah, that's one strategy, is make sure you're consistent on those. So for those of you working on getting that, I would vary your hand position, experiment with that, see if some like a double overhand or double underhand or chin-ups may be stronger than your overhand grip. Most likely it is for most athletes. But you can check that out, see if that works for you. And then, yeah, on the shuttle runs, it's the same thing. It is very hard to go quick on those and still be okay when you get back to the burpee pull-ups, unless you can do that. If you are a rabbit, then make your money on those shuttle sprints. I like the quick step back on the turnaround. So if you kind of like step across the line with one foot, then you kind of like start in a little bit of a sprint position almost. So a step back to get quick off the line there. But again, that's kind of wasted if you blow yourself up on those shuttle sprints, which is going to be easy to do unless you're one of those rabbits that can just move on those. Because a greater challenge this workout is keeping your burpee pull-ups consistent. And then, so I think that's going to be the greater challenge for people is figuring out a technique that's going to work for you. So like Justin said, these need to be practiced and you like settle into a rhythm of like, hey, when I go down, my hands go in the same place every time. I step up this way every time. My feet are here. I know the bar is here. I jump up and I maximize those burpee pull-ups as quickly as I can. I was going to say, I don't think there's many people that I would be like, yeah, you should shuttle sprint really fast unless you're.
Yeah, I mean, your cardio would have to be so high.
Yeah, really, really high. And you have to be really good at pull-ups too.
Yeah.
Which is rare. So if you're just super, super fit, then you're going to do really well on that one. If not, then you're kind of working damage control on whichever side or both sides so that you can just stay consistent because 15 minutes is a long time. And so those 5 burpee pull-ups, as long as you can do pull-ups pretty well, those are fine. 10's okay. 15, you're starting into like, okay, like I now realize what this workout is. And then the 20, you're going to get like 8 in, and it's just pretty devastating because then you're like, everything slows down. They get really, really hard. And that's just burpee pull-ups. Like they just get hard. So the more you can minimize those and settle into a rhythm and like find a pace and like making sure your hands and feet are in the same position every time will help you like kind of like zone out. And then you just kind of like a metronome, just keep your body moving without getting those little pauses in there. I think that'll maximize that stuff. And that'll help you get the best that you can on that one. Anything else to be said on the first part?
I don't think so. I mean, that's pretty much spot on with at least how it was for me, and just seeing. I went with, like I said, Lindsay, and then also Preston's wife Emma went at the same time as us. So we all I think had similar experiences as far as the pacing. So
yeah, and then you have 5 minutes to establish a 1 rep max thruster. So on the thruster, you can have the bar preloaded to whatever weight you want. So what would you say? Should people go lighter than they think? You said you felt good going into that.
Yeah. Looking back, I usually err on the side of light in a workout like that where you're going into a fatigue. But on this one, for whatever reason, I felt really strong, and like your grip, my grip was fine. So like a lot of times when pulling a barbell, I think if it's a grip workout, then I need to be lighter. I think it should have been heavier. So I started at 135 and ended at 265. I think I probably would have started. I think I could have started at 185 and been fine, and then I would have had more time to rest between my sets because I didn't get a good attempt. I'm not sure. I need to look at my clock to see the times, but I probably didn't get up to 225 until I only had 2 minutes left or 2:15 left. So then I like rushed 4 attempts.
Roman did 135, 185, or he jumped to 135 to 225.
225, yeah. Because I think he wanted to start heavier too. If you watch that conversation with Rich, and Rich told him to start lighter, and then I think he was like, "Oh, it feels fine."
Yeah.
But then like watching Vellner, like he didn't look fine.
Yeah.
To me, but he also started at 230.
Yeah.
Right? Did he not? Yeah. So.
Yeah, and he didn't get it.
he had a little fumble.
The judge gave it to him, but he didn't get it.
Little fumble, a double knee bend.
Mike, your boy, he had a little bit of fumble, but judge gave it to him. So what's he to do?
But yeah, so I would start a little heavier than you think. As far as warming up, I warmed up to 215. So what ended up being my third attempt. Again, it should have been like my second or maybe my first attempt even. But I would say just warm up enough that you have the movement dialed in, and then just be confident that you're going to feel okay. And if you need to rest up to a minute, I don't think I even did my first one for a minute, right?
Yeah.
It was about a minute, yeah. So change your shoes if you want to. I was going to, but I was kind of messed up, so I couldn't move over to where my lifters were. So
yeah, you have 5 minutes on this one. I would say just about everybody's going to take that first minute to kind of like take a knee, gather themselves. And then for most people, I know most people don't even know what their 1 rep max thruster is.
True.
So one thing I would do before the workout, if you just have no idea what a 1 rep max thruster is, I would just work up to a heavy like single, know that whatever your true 1 rep max is, you're not probably going to get that. I would just take whatever a true 1 rep max is when you're fresh, and I would take 20 to 30 pounds off of that, and that's kind of the number you want to shoot for, right? So it's like if your max thruster is 155 when you're fresh, and you've tested that recently, then I would say like, okay, a good target would be somewhere around 135. And then I would do progressions to kind of build up to that based on that number, right? So like if you're going to get 4 or 5 lifts, then you'd say, okay, you could start at 95, hit that, you'd have 115, hit that, jump to 135. If you're feeling really good, if you're not feeling really good after that second one, then you could maybe go to a moderate load to kind of damage control and hit 125. And then you still got lift 4, which could be that 135. If you hit that, then proceed on and like maybe hit 145. Also, caveat there is if you hit 115 and everything's awesome, jump to 135, then you hit 145, and you can go for that 155 if everything's feeling good. But that's what I would do is like, and typically what I would say is most people are going to hit what they would normally hit for a 3 rep max thruster when they're fresh as a 1, roughly.
Yeah, actually,
similar.
I did less than mine, but
yeah, I think depending on your familiarity and your competency with the thruster, yeah, for sure. But for those of you who are like, I have no idea, I would warm up to a heavy single beforehand. Just get a good medium heavy weight, and there's your target to try and hit, and then maybe exceed if you have a little bit of time left after that. But otherwise, that's how I would approach it. And then you can always kind of like make smaller jumps or bigger jumps. And for those of you that want to sprinkle in the change plates or do the 1 pound whatnots, as far as I can tell from everything, you are allowed to do that. And add a 1 pound to each side so you can get a 222 instead of a 220. And then just 5 minutes is going to go pretty quick. And then also remember like that final lift you have until time expires to lift the bar. So if you start the final lift at the 5 minute mark, as long as the bar is moving when they call time and it keeps moving, like you can finish out that lift after the clock expires. That's the only rule. If it hasn't started before the clock expires, it can't start. But if you start before the clock expires, then you have one more lift that you can fit in there. And I would say that's going to be most people is you're going to have that like minute to 45-second range of like, could I do this? But you want to wait as long as you possibly can and then pull it right before that 5 minute mark and see what happens. Other than that, I don't know that I have any other advice.
No, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. Yeah. And all RX people are going to be doing the exact same workout, so that'll be interesting to see some of the masters and even like the teams where they stack up, because I bet they're going to have some pretty good scores on this one, honestly. So,
what do you think the best score at CrossFit Nashville is going to be in the first part and the second part?
On the first part, I think someone's going to get probably 20 burpee pull-ups. I bet somebody can get to 20 burpee pull-ups in the round of 30 if they're really feeling it. We have some cardio beasts here, so that are still pretty good at gymnastics. So I think that we could see a 20, and then
Roman got three of the 35.
Yeah, but like Vellner, he wasn't done with the shuttle runs, and then like there's some other scores in there now, like Jake Berman, like cardio people like that haven't finished the shuttle runs either. So like that 30 burpee pull-ups, it's going to take a long time.
Roman looked good. Yeah. I mean, as good as you can on this one. He just looked completely solid the whole time. So that's hard. Like I think you've got to assume his score is one of the best you're going to see.
Yeah, but like if somebody wants to kill it, I'm hopeful that somebody at the gym will get that good. And then on the second part, I mean, 265 is going to be the best thrust.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think anybody's going to beat that.
And then
I don't think so.
Who are you?
Well, I was going to say
Rick or somebody.
Maybe if they were okay. But
yeah.
Maybe Rick Moore, you might have a shot.
Maybe
if you're okay when you get to those thrusters.
Yeah.
But that's also true. Rick Moore, one of our larger athletes, not a big fan of the shuttle runs. and the burpee pull-ups. So,
For women. What are we gonna
oh, who's gonna have the best score on the women's side on the first part?
I think the scores could be similar, maybe a little less. I mean, Emma and Lindsay were right there. I mean, me and Emma tied, and then Lindsay was 2 reps behind.
Yeah, Lindsay's very good at the cardio stuff too. So, I mean, on the ladies' side, I don't know.
Yeah, Emma could have one of the better scores. Allison could have a very good score.
Allison could have a very good score in the first part. Alexis, you could be a dark horse on this.
The running, yeah.
If you really bring the pain, you might be able to do one of the best scores of the gym on that one. And then on the thruster part, 185. Yeah, I mean,
maybe more.
maybe more.
I heard this though.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's go 185.
185.
Yeah,
185. So we're going 265.
So and that's I'm assuming that you're talking about Sarah.
Yes.
Okay, Sarah, you can win the second part. And do we think Sarah can win the first part?
She'll have to kill herself. I don't think so.
No confidence in Sarah Sapansky on the first part. Sarah, yeah, you got an uphill battle on the first part, for sure. And so, do we think Lindsay and Emma have the best? Emma has the best score.
Yeah,
with 8 burpee pull-ups. So, can anyone beat Emma Sechting, my wife, mother of 3 children, is now leading the gym as one of the best scorers in the first part. But she's really good at stuff like this, just like methodical, like just a grind. So, way to go, Emma.
But we'll have 4 to 5 guys beat my score probably. So, I think.
Did we decide who's gonna? Oh, no, I said Alexis. Who's the best woman scorer? You think Emma's gonna hold it?
I think she has a good chance. Tiffany.
Oh yeah.
Tiffany could have a good score. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know anybody else that could.
There we go. But I would love for anyone to beat that score. So all of you in Nashville, I am cheering for you, rooting for you. You got anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, Mike Thomas, you were sorely missed today. We wish all of you luck on 23.2 A and B. And that's all from the Pancake Podcast.
Peace. Yo, these are. Well, I guess it's probably because it's so hot in here. My ears were sweating. Sweating. Okay, now I've got to figure out how to
There's 4 people here.
load this.